two goals which should have been disallowed, destroyed Derby County's chances of taking victory versus Norwich City at Pride Park Stadium, as the ref played a huge part in taking away Derby County's winning record. Devastated. That's the only thing I have to really say. Really poor from the referees. You'll probably have seen both of the decisions that happened in the game. Now, obviously, at the stadium, the first one I wasn't quite sure because it's on the other end of the pitch, and same with the second, which was for the first and third goal. Really disappointing moments, and don't get me wrong, I don't think Derby County were excellent today. I don't think we were outstanding. I don't necessarily think we deserved to win, but I thought we put in a valid performance for a point to come away with something, and to lose it in the way we lost it, I just don't think it's right. I think the referees deserve punishment, really, but we know that won't happen. We know there'll probably be a letter sent in the post to Moor Farm to Paul Warne and his coaching staff and to apologise to the players, but that doesn't get you your points back. It doesn't get you even a singular point. It's just a token gesture, really, and it's really disappointing to see a game at Championship level be dictated by such a poor refereeing decision from two officials who didn't want to keep up with play. And that is the problem, especially with the first goal. Both ref and Lino either saw it and didn't know what to do about it, or weren't up with play. And I'll put both decisions up on screen at this point, and it's one of those for me where it's blatantly obvious, and at some point referees are going to have to come out and say their piece. We see it in American sports, and I think it's a perfect way to do it. They give explanations for their decisions, and managers and coaches have the opportunity within games to challenge, and I think that should be something which should be brought in. Both teams, Derby, Norwich, and even the referees, probably get footage from the game live as it happens. I know for a fact Derby have analysts in the stands straight down to the bench for linos and referees to see, and it's not like you have to add in any more infrastructure than what's already there. Derby have the capacity to go and pull up whatever's just happened, and I know that for a fact from my position as an analyst, with what they did with the academy and things like that. And obviously at first team level you obviously have a little bit more access, and it's disappointing to come away from this game with nothing, because I don't think we were awful. There's a few things which I do want to talk about, mainly our midfield three. Ebo Adams, it's one of those where I think Derby County are suffering in that midfield after losing Ozo, because Ebo doesn't have that technical ability, which means Kenzo's having to drop deeper, which then limits his impact on the game further up the pitch. And that's something which we need as a team. We need Kenzo further up the pitch because of his creative nature. And I think in that second half, obviously we went 3-1 down, and when we brought on Chiwa and Harness, and we had that midfield three of Harness, Chiwa and Kenzo, I thought we actually started to make things happen. I understand you can't start with that because you haven't really got a defensive minded player in there, but I certainly think it's time that Derby County look to move that midfield around. I think when we're not doing that, I think it's left open to interpretation of how our midfield's going to be, because I don't think Ibu has that technical nature to be able to get on the ball and make things happen. I think we saw it a few times today when he did pick up the ball in those spaces, and it is quite disappointing. Sometimes watching Ibu on the ball, I think he has some brilliant off the ball attributes, and it's something that I've said a few times over the course of realistically the last 8 months since he signed, really, is that technically he's a League One player. Off the ball, I think he's a top-end Championship player, but obviously when you put those two together, it puts you sort of down that bottom end in the Championship. And obviously he can develop those technical attributes, but the big question is he going to be able to? And as of yet, we haven't yet seen that. And I think having someone like Kenzo next to him, which we didn't really have today, Ibu was essentially playing as the number 10. He was the furthest forward midfielder for large parts of the first half and heading into the second half, and I just don't think that's his position. I don't think that's where he should be, and it's obviously disappointing that we've got players like Marcus Harness, Tawanda Chiwa, Corey Blackett-Taylor sitting on the bench who could potentially get away into the team so that someone can take that role who can actually play there. And I understand what Paul was trying to do with having that extra defensive stability in midfield, but me personally, especially at home, I'd rather have that ability to have a proper number 10, and it's really disappointing, really disappointing. I have to say I'm delighted Craig Forsyth was in the team today. I think it was the obvious choice after Callum Elder got injured, and I think Forsyth marked it brilliantly with that goal, sneaking in at the far post. Obviously it's excellent to see Corey Blackett-Taylor. It was a really nice goal. Although, if we're going to talk about poor refereeing decisions, I think it should have been ruled out for offside. I think it was James Collins, I'm not 100% sure, was stood in front of the goalkeeper when Blackett-Taylor took the strike in an offside position. So if we're going to talk about the two bad decisions which took Derby away from winning 3 points, we have to talk about the decision which brought us back into the game. And it's disappointing, very disappointing, because even if you take away the 2 goals for Norwich, you take away Blackett-Taylor's goal, it's still a 1-1 game. Derby come away with a point, Norwich come away with a point. We both sit in a decent position in the league, but now there's an opportunity, if worst case scenario, and we have to talk about worst case scenario while games are still being played, Derby County could finish the day in 18th. It's highly unlikely, but it is a possibility. So obviously disappointing one to go through with, really. Especially when it's so blatantly obvious that 2 of the goals shouldn't have been given. I do think we'll see changes heading into Sunderland in midweek. We will have a preview video out for that, and a preview of the upcoming games we're heading into October already. It's getting towards that second international break, and I'm just really disappointed coming away from today's game. You can obviously let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL Championship and League One content. Let me know your thoughts about the officials, the game, down in the comments. I think it's a massive step forward for Blackett-Taylor. I think Craig Forsyth will keep his spot in the team going forward. And Callum Elder's going to have to work his way back when he's fit. I do think there's going to be big changes heading into Sunderland. But stay tuned. Make sure you stick around on this video. Watch the matchday footage. And I'll catch you in my next video.
Norwich City and Derby County. And those 2 lineups once more starting off with Norwich City number 1 against Gunn. 4 Shane Gallagher, 6 Tad Boyle, 7 Borja Saint, 9 Josh Sargent, 17 Antti Siena, 23 Kenny McLean, 26 Marcelino Nunes, 29 Oscar Swalter.
TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.